just realized there's a kind of a missed opportunity here. I thought you were going to start turning the music down at that point.
That would be the opposite of turning the music down.
Yeah, I should have known better. We went to a show last night and saw TJ Miller. So Tim is all about being a comedian now.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yep. Tim's always a comedian, though.
Yeah, have you not seen me on any show that I've ever been here for?
Tim.
I did think about him while I was scrubbing my armpits in the shower earlier, though, because he said that was going to happen. He was right.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought about him while doing something else.
It was weird. He was really funny, though. What I was saying, we have a missed opportunity that this is episode 21, and we're recording it practically in the morning. So, like, this is the episode where, and
this is the one episode we don't have seltzers for. This is going to be a bad episode.
Oh, man.
I thought there was some in the fridge and there aren't.
I mean, we have liquor on the shelf.
Oh, yeah.
Get liquored up at noon.
Got wine.
Well, yeah, I do.
I'll say this. Like many 21-year-olds, just because you can drink doesn't mean you should drink. So maybe we're going to hold out until like 24, 25.
Right.
And it'll actually be a good time for everybody.
Be a little more responsible with that drinking.
We don't want it to be a good time for everybody, though.
Just us.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as we're having fun.
I want to make sure you guys suffer.
Wow.
In the Southlands. Actually, what it should have been called Suffering the Southlands.
That would have been a deceptive title.
Would it?
How much are we actually suffering, though?
I mean, we have a mechanic where every day we suffer a little bit less.
Yes, less suffering. Gerty is suffering right now. He did come down with Solaria last episode.
Yes, yep.
I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit. It's been a long time since we've played this game.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It was summer. Now it's almost winter. Jess moved.
Far away.
She went far. So I want to say thanks for still playing with us, still making that drive.
Thank you.
Of course, it's way too much fun.
We got you a little thank you.
Don't
I'm gonna throw it at you.
What? You're lucky I can catch them. Ooh, they're different colors. Oh, I like these. Now I have to use them.
We got Jess some new dice. I asked her a while ago what her favorite color was, and I shouldn't have been surprised she didn't really have an answer.
You're right. I think I said rainbow.
You're like, I like rainbow or red or really just about anything. So I
Yeah.
found rainbow dice.
They are. They're actually rainbow.
Each one's a
I
different.
don't know how to hold these up to the camera. I can't do it.
Just trust us when we say they're rainbow.
Each one's a different
Yeah, there you go.
color instead of like each one's all the colors. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So fun. So thanks, Jess.
Thanks for having me. I feel official now.
Yeah. You're stuck with us.
I was going to say, you're stuck with me. I'm the one driving far away to get here. If I got all the way here and you said no, I'd be like, screw you guys.
Yeah.
I'm playing anyway.
We'll take out a board game instead or something. But yeah, we have episode 21. You guys are in the city of all races known as Nkaramba. And Heinrik has decided to enter the arena.
There's a unicorn.
There's a unicorn?
There's a unicorn. The 20 is a unicorn.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
really.
awesome. I dropped my ring already. It's gone
Aw.
forever.
That's incredible.
And Heinrik entered the First Blood competition, which I have since defined in the rules for this that the first one to suffer more than the minimum one wound from a successful attack
Uh-oh.
will be declared the loser. Yes.
Man,
Yeah.
this is like back on the horse right away. Like,
Mhm.
haven't played this character for months, and now he's almost gonna die.
And you did see, saw last episode that I was taking a cue from Thor Ragnarok, and out from the other side comes barreling a orc wearing furs, daubed with bright blue war paint, and wielding two big old bone choppas. And you presume that Mufata did some kind of introduction. He was saying it in a language you couldn't understand, too far away for the amulet to work, but the crowd was really geared up for this. You hear them chanting, "Ruck, Ruck, Ruck, Ruck," which you figure probably is the name of the orc that is coming at you.
Oh, that's right, because you're not actually fighting Mafuta. He's just the one overseeing it.
Yes, he's got like his own little balcony. He's up there, emceeing the whole thing. Essentially, you would not want to fight Mufuta.
Not with that attitude.
Well, you say that I wouldn't want to, but here I am, and Heinrik is going to begin this fight with a charm check.
Oh,
Okay. What?
This is so Heinrich, I can't even.
I mean, it's no bagpipes, but
Okay, I'm intrigued. You're gonna try to charm who? The orc?
Yeah. I don't know how you do it down here in the South, but where I come from, we like to put on a bit of a show for the audience. And so Heinrich, in making his charm check, is going to like kind of harmlessly flip his sword around in a way that I hope that this orc recognizes are not intended to land blows.
What?
Like a display.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this game so much because I never know what the fuck your characters are gonna do. You enter the arena in a first blood competition. The first thing you want to do is say, "Let's just pretend."
it's really genius though. Like he's got a point. The people came
It's
here
a
to
show.
see a show.
Oh my god!
So
Yeah, I
put on
mean,
a show.
And Heinrich's gonna get
True.
squashed if this goes wrong. So
Just so that listeners are aware, my melee fencing check is a 56 and my charm check is a 52. So it objectively would have been better if I just attacked, but
I think this is
No.
in character though.
it's very in character.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I figured Heinrich's in a good spot here. You got a good. I mean, initiative doesn't matter. You have a fast weapon, so you just can go first. I'm at -10 to. I can't parry it, right?
I'm trying to charm you, not hit you. So, I mean, I think that if you want to make a cool check, or I don't know if some other check makes sense for him to decide not to play along with my ruse.
Right. No, I was saying that with Heinrich entering the games, I thought he had a pretty good chance with all these things that he's actually fairly decent in combat. He just can't take a hit for anything. And now you're charming him instead. I need my cup.
Don't fight it, Dan. Don't fight it.
Just give me the whole thing.
no, you can just use these dice. You don't need those.
Oh, no.
You don't need those
But
ones.
just, I don't know if this affects which dice you're going to pull, but I did roll an 11.
All right. So
Oh,
I guess I'll oppose that with a cool. I feel.
Wait, 11's really good, right? It's
Yes.
so long.
Oh yeah.
Open the wrong tab there. Let's see. What's his cool? Oh, he has a very high willpower. All right. I had 1 success level.
I mean, I had 4 with that 11. I'm still very good at charming.
So this orc is just confused. He doesn't know what you're doing. He's charging at you, going, whoa! And you just stand there flipping your little sword around.
The yelling is incredible. Even I'm psyched up by this.
What? All right. So the orc
But I'm
sees
assuming combat check for advantage, though, right?
I mean, you did win an opposed check in combat. Yeah. What?
This is incredible.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. So
Liliana's just in a sense like,
you hear some jeers in the crowd, especially those of you in the stands. Heinrich might not be able to hear this as well because this place is huge. But the crowd is kind of like also confused. You hear some murmuring about, well, you don't know what they're saying, but it sounds like confused murmuring. People are just kind of like, and this orc slows down a little bit, and then he kind of looks around on his turn. And he's just like, still like kind of jogging towards you, but he kind of lowers his 2 weapons and he looks around and he's like, eh? Like he doesn't know what to do either. He looks up to Mafuta and Mafuta just points at Heinrich. And then the
Well,
orc
if that's how
nods.
he's spending his turn, like, absolute next thing I'm going to do with his weapons down is attack dishonorably.
Yeah, with that past charm check, I'll have the orc be just kind of confused this round. He looks around, and you can take advantage of that to let you charge in.
All right, yeah. All right, with charge and the advantage and my melee fencing, that is 4 success levels.
All right, and I believe I cannot parry this weapon, correct? I can only dodge.
Oh, now you're making me I haven't looked at the rules for
6 months.
This is why I edit the last episode we did right before we play, because I believe you said you can't parry this, and I'm at -10 for any opposed rolls against it. Fast is ridiculously good.
Yeah, so for fast, all melee tests to defend against suffer a penalty of -10.
Jeez.
So other skills defend as normal, though. So you can use a melee, but dodge is going to give you the ability to avoid a penalty.
All right, so he's going to try to block with his bone choppas. That's way better, even with -10. And I have 2 negative success levels from that.
And I had 4 success levels, so that's a net 8.
Jeez.
Okay.
He doesn't have any armor. He's just wearing some simple furs, and yeah.
Well, and I also, yeah, I'm just making sure that I'm keeping track of how much damage I'm doing here. Well, if you had armor, that would have helped because your armor would have been doubled against me.
I thought you ignored
Interesting.
metal armor is doubled, right?
Oh, why did I shut that book? But
Yeah,
yeah,
just
it
leave
does
it
have the undamaging quality.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so how much damage do you do with that?
I do 10 total.
Wow.
Dang.
Okay. Where did you hit?
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. 10 total, and I hit in the body.
All right, so you stab him. You have a foil, right? So it's just like a fencing sword. So
Yeah.
you stab him in the chest, and you definitely draw some black orc blood with that. Obviously, you don't do a full 10 damage to him, but he does soak some of that. He is pretty tough. And yeah, the crowd cheers mightily, seeing blood in the sand.
Yeah. Heinrik, as soon as he draws blood, pulls the sword out and just starts trying to flick the blood off of it and wipe it on the ground because it's filthy. And he's just, ugh. Oh, if I had known, I maybe wouldn't have.
Yeah, it's gross. Orc blood is pretty nasty. So as you're doing that, the crowd is cheering. You hear Mafuta bellowing. You presume something about how Heinrik won in a manner that, nobody expected. And you realize the orc doesn't stop. He's real mad, and he swings one of his orc choppas at you on his turn. You do have 2 advantage now, I believe.
Alex, you're muted, bud.
Oh, that was a real shame that I was muted. You didn't hear my quality dice sound. No, so that was just 2 success levels.
Alrighty, I had only 1 success level. So you managed to deflect the shot with your little blade, which almost does. This chop thing is like the size of your torso, but you managed to swing his arm around or something, and he doesn't hit you. And then Mafuta yells really loud, and it catches the orc's attention finally, and he kind of drops his head and starts slowly walking towards his entrance.
He is in trouble.
And you win the first round, and the crowd goes a little crazy. Obviously, you were the underdog there, people assumed, with this orc. And you can head back to your entrance as well. Those of you in the stands, what are we doing?
Before I go back in, I would like to make an entertain check.
Okay.
Because Heinrik would like to, he is audience approval is pretty new to him because mostly people fawn over him because he is a noble, not because he did something to an orc in front of a bunch of people. So he's definitely going to do some flexing poses and trying to look badass with the sword.
Ah,
I love
that's
it.
incredible.
It's going.
Yeah, make an
straight to
entertain
his
check.
head.
Is this
Repeated
something
that.
Heinrik's actually good at?
It's a fellowship check, so he's pretty good. I rolled a 7 though, so that's 4 success levels.
Oh wow, you are working the crowd. They love you. You start people are cheering, but they're not sure what to call you. Yeah, those of you in the stand, you can hear they're chanting something, but again, it's in a language you don't understand, but it's something over and over again.
I'll be like, Heinrik, Heinrik.
Do you guys start cheering that?
Heinrik.
I will start cheering whatever the crowd is cheering. Yes, seems pretty good.
Or are you saying Heinrich?
I'm saying Heinrik. They should know his name.
Liliana's just gonna wonder. He needs a cooler nickname.
Yes, he does. Like Bathtub Bandit or something.
Yes.
That's so many syllables, though.
Yeah,
That's
it's
impossible to
It
chant.
has
And they
alliteration.
They definitely can't
Oh,
pronounce
wait.
Heinrich either.
Bathtub Bandit.
I feel like that should be Lily's name.
I was a
in the
cheerleader.
It
arena.
should definitely be Heinrich.
Because just think of it. He's noble, yes? And like he comes down from his ivory tower to stab orcs. It's like a secret identity.
Yeah,
Very
so-
mysterious.
Should he be like the noble or something?
Well, no, that would give it away that he is a noble.
That's true.
The blood spiller.
Oh, I like that one. Oh, the blade cleaner.
Ooh.
Because he cleaned his blade in the sand.
Blade cleaner.
Because dirt is cleaner than orc blood, probably.
Orc slayer. Are they all going to be orcs?
Blood flicker.
Oh, Blood Flicker's great name. Oh, I really like that.
Ooh, it is good.
The
Blood flicker. So as Heinrich he gets the crowd going, you kind of see that there are some people kind of like waving you to come back to your spot, and you head back and to kind of like a waiting area. And as you're waiting there, people bring you some drinks and like snacks, because you know that you have a few bout. Like you won your first bout, that's great. There, so you're gonna do at least one more. And those of you in the stands see two new entrants enter the ring. There is a Chakma. You'd recognize as one of the monkey beastmen.
Who's in the crowd around us?
Mostly Southlands humans.
Okay.
A couple dwarves. Here they people tend to segregate themselves by species. So like you see a little goblin section along the way. You see a few more of those orcs.
Okay.
Those Southlands orcs in a different spot.
And we're smack in the middle of the wrong section because we didn't know this.
Yes, it's okay. It's if there's dwarf near, I'll smack him on the chest and be like, I know him. He's my mentor. He taught me how to tell people's names wrong.
He's like, okay. So a male Chakma comes out that looks much bigger than other Chakma that you've seen. And you see that he has on his back, he has a bunch of javelins, and he has one of those big clubs in his hand that you saw before of the warrior Chakma. And you see he, on his face, is like painted black. I believe you saw before.
Interesting.
And you see him walk out with some swagger. And then from the other side, you see a figure just clad in black. Pretty short, much smaller than the Chakma. Wearing like a big black cloak.
Oh, he's like a little shadow running around.
And they come out and Mafuta is again announcing them. You figure you don't know what he's saying at this point, but the crowd is very excited at this, and the two go at it, but it's a pretty quick fight once again.
Wait, hold on. Liliana,
Yeah.
which one do you think will win?
Ooh. This short one. This is a short one like my short or like your short or like
Yes,
pretty short or like.
describe the short.
Well, as they start moving towards each other, you see that it's not so much that they're short, but they're hunched over a lot. And they have this big billowing cloak around them and a cowl pulled up over their head.
I vote the cloak. He's lying about some stuff. He's got the sneaky going on with the cloak and the sneaks and the.
So initially, I think this too. I think maybe a halfling or something like that. But if he's hunched over, it makes me think it's maybe a rat person, and I don't.
He's at least a smart fighter.
Yes, I don't like to bet against. I don't like to bet for the big things. You know, they just hit things hard. I've also
Too easy for them.
Yeah,
Too easy for the ones that are taller. They got the arms and the reaching and the.
But he does have javelins too, which is smart. And first blood, he's just gonna throw things. He's not even gonna use his bigness.
But you just jump out of the way. The long pointy sticks are only good if you have a tunnel, and then they can't get away from it.
Oh yes, this is suspiciously not like tunnel.
A lot of room here. There's a lot
I
of
love
room.
you guys are talking strategy. I love it.
All right, I think it's the tiny one too.
Yeah. Black cloak.
Yes.
The black cloak.
Bethen, what is your expert mythical opinion?
As a human who does have long limbs, I will say it is quite advantageous. I wonder what this cloaked creature is hiding. Perhaps they have some ranged weapon underneath there.
See,
Because
hiding.
I do think that the ranged weapon that the Chakma has could really spell victory. You just get a javelin out, get some blood.
Maybe he's other tiny things in cloak. Maybe it's more than one. Maybe it's like 3 little monkeys versus a very big monkey.
Maybe it's 3 of the bigger Chakma's children, and they're here to exact revenge on their absent father.
Oh, yes. No, this is a great story. They're like, oh, Dad is always fighting in the arena. Let's go see him. We will kill him so that way he'll spend time with us at home. I like it.
He will never
kill
fight
him.
again.
Go home with him.
Oh, kill his dream. Sorry, not him. Yeah,
all right,
that would be
Yes,
counterproductive.
metaphorical.
This is why Heinrich calls them beastmen.
For the sport of a healthy wager, I'm going with the Chakma.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So Heinrich, while this is happening, you are essentially being pampered inside, like under the stands of the arena.
What could be
Again,
better?
they're feeding you some fruits. They got you drink some wine
We have a
if
big
you want
pump.
that,
Does he have
and
a
like they're
pump?
fanning you. They're like dabbing your forehead to get the sweat off. Because you won your first bout ever here as somebody that looks very different from those around here, kind of like quickly becoming a little celebrity.
Yeah, so Heinrich is already drunk on fame, but he's ready to get drunk on wine as well with, remember, my 23 toughness.
Yeah, so if you have like the equivalent of a drink of wine, you will have to make a consume alcohol test.
Oh, and yes.
Oh, okay. This will be the one he passes.
I can't wait to see drunken master Heinrich with a rapier, like bobbing and weaving and poking people.
So that's a 71.
Ooh, all right, never mind.
So 5 negative success levels.
Wasted all your good rolls.
All right, so you can check out the consume alcohol rules to see. I know it's -10 to a bunch of stats.
Including any combat related stat, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's like
I thought that was
weapon
the-
skill, agility, initiative, intelligence, something like that. Dexterity for sure.
Or maybe we had conversation in Gapapo where like, yeah, it should not decrease your fighting, should make it better. But
that's not what the rules say.
no, I know. I remember thinking like, because we didn't know and we were looking it up and there were those drunk guys and we were like, yeah, they probably hit better now, but no, they don't.
All right, so while Heinrich is getting a little silly, these in the crowd, you may place your bets with each other and you see this battle unfold pretty quick where the Chakma does throw a javelin at his opponent, dodges out of the way.
Oh.
Chakma gets another javelin out, but then its opponent is on him, pretty much stabs out with the javelin. Opponent dodges again, and you see he flings the cloak aside a bit, and you see he's got he's got punch daggers. Essentially, he's holding like claws, and he slashes at the Chakma, who blocks with his club real quick. The Chakma swings back with the club, like over a hand, smashes it into the ground, just barely misses an opponent, and then the opponent stabs him in the gut and draws blood, and the crowd goes crazy. And then you see that the opponent was a Skaven.
Haha.
Oh, it's very yucky. I don't like being good. Yes. I don't red people.
I mean, how did it get here?
Oh, I mean, they were like selling stuff outside, so like they're like here. It's just very dirty.
So you see the Chakma holds his hand over his stomach. It's not like a crazy deep cut. You can see this Chakma's missing patches of fur here and there because of scars and things. Clearly an experienced fighter, and he kind of nods at the Skaven, and they both turn around and walk back to their areas, and the crowd is pretty excited.
All right. Do they have medical staff here for the fighters who get injured?
I figure they must have something. Maybe not staff for the arena, but probably fighters might have their own like retinues, essentially.
Interesting.
Kind of like a boxer in their corner.
Yes.
We should be down. We could get front row seats.
Oh, yes.
We could say we're like in with the Heinrich if you get over there on like ringside.
Yeah, tell them like we're here with a blood flicker. Let us in there.
This is all I'm imagining. The blood flicker.
Yes. He gets this on his hands. He's like, ugh, flick. Yeah, that's probably what he do.
Yeah. I mean, Bethen loves the idea of going and like helping patch these fighters up as like triage training.
No.
Kind
You're
of.
Heinrik's healer. You have to say Heinrik only.
No, right. But if I could observe what the others do, then perhaps, in combat, I would be more efficient with my healing.
As long as you don't help the other guys.
No, of course not.
It's fine.
Oh, yeah, you could, give them incorrect information. Be like, yes, where I come from, yeah, attach the duodenum to this thing. And
Yes.
then they would do it, and then they'd be all topsy-turvy.
Yes. In the Empire, we put rocks in a wound and then sew it up.
It's what makes them stronger.
'Cause
It gets minerals.
Rocks rub together and make you tough.
Yes.
It's like armor under your skin. Mhm.
Sure. All right, so those fighters go back. Within moments, 2 new ones come out. And we see Southlands human comes out wearing a little bit of armor. Not a ton, but they have they're wearing like a breastplate and a full face helm so you can't see their face. And then like greaves and van braces that are on your forearms.
I think so.
But it's all like bright, shiny, looks like brass or something.
Ooh.
Pretty fancy looking, actually. And in one hand, they have a long spear that's kind of hooked. And the other hand, they're dragging something along the ground next to them. Everybody do an average perception test because they are kind of far away. And Heinrich, at this point, you can be watching the bouts too. So if you want to make that test.
Ooh, I know that's bad.
I have 1 success level.
Okay.
I know that a 99 is the worst thing I can roll.
You're like, are
Pretty
there
much.
snacks?
No, straight up. She would.
Heinrich is just like way too busy being pampered to even get involved with other fights.
I passed with 0 success levels.
All right. So Gerty and Bethen realize this person's dragging behind them a barbed net.
Oh, snap.
Not just a net, but where like every little intersection has a little tiny barb on it.
Ouch.
Oh, this will be very painful. It might not draw blood in the way that they want to draw blood, but you get the net on somebody, and especially if it's a tiny net, they're like, oh no, it's a net and it's tiny.
I love the tiny net. And then the other person that comes out is another Southlands human. This one's clearly a male, but he's got a patch over one eye. He's not wearing any armor. You can tell he's wearing just kind of typical clothes. He's got pants and an open shirt. He doesn't look particularly strong. He's not really big. He walks out with a little bit of a swagger. And you can see pretty clearly on his hip. On one side, he's got a whip, and then he's got a couple of daggers as well.
Uh-oh, things are about to get very sexy in here.
Somebody's getting caressed with that whip.
Yeah.
And as they walk out, he draws a dagger in his left hand, and then he draws the whip out and just whoosh, cracks it, and then the crowd goes wild.
So I think my money's on a guy with scratchy net. Because the other guy's not even wearing shirt. If he was wearing like shirt or belt or armor,
Right.
scratchy net's not gonna scratch him all that bad. But
Does
he's
the
done
other- Does the other guy have anything but the scratchy net?
yeah, he's got the vamp braces.
And like a hook thing. Like a spear
spear.
with a hook.
Yeah.
Again, range. And then the spiky net with no shirt. He's got that sexy whip though. Like
He does have a sexy whip.
like that
The
whip.
range didn't work
Sploosh.
well for the last guy.
Yeah. Yep. That's fair.
And that whip also has a ton of range. So I don't know. I'm going with the whip man. Well, bam.
Okay. So Liliana thinks whip guy.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not the guy.
Bethen wants the whip guy to win.
What about Gerty? What does he think?
I think the net will do very good here.
Scratchy net.
Okay.
Scratching guy with no shirt.
The
I think the
net,
scratching
right.
guy is going to get his own blood and he's going to lose because he touched his own net.
Oh gosh. That's probably why he's wearing the armor on his arms. He probably scratches himself very often.
Scratch me once. Shame on me.
He knows better.
All right, so Mafuta yells something out to start the fight, and these two just start sprinting at each other. The guy with the whip and the dagger is much faster than he first appeared. And again, we see them both ready. They're kind of ranged weapons. He's got his whip, so obviously it's not like a jab. He can just keep kind of whipping it with the javelins.
Real good.
You miss one, it takes a bit longer to kind of reset. You see him whip out first, and it strikes the breastplate of the other opponent. And it kind of it like sets him off balance a little bit, but it doesn't obviously draw blood. The other person then like takes a little stance real quick and hurls the net at the first guy. And it looks like it's coming right at him. At the last second, he ducks and rolls out of the way, just barely misses him. And then he throws one of his daggers.
Ha! No more net for you.
It sinks into the exposed thigh of the other opponent, and some blood comes out
Woohoo!
onto the sand. And the crowd goes, "Wah!"
I told you.
This is very silly games. They make up things here. That's not how it goes.
This one I rolled for. Didn't go your way, Gerty.
Wow.
That's fine.
So the person with the had the net kind of stomps over to their net, picks it up, takes the dagger out of their leg and throws it on the ground, clearly not very happy with this result, and makes their way back to their entrance. So the other guy picks up his dagger, and a bit like Heinrik starts like kind of working up the crowd. He like throws the dagger up in the air and whips it to show off some skill and everything, and then he makes his way back as well.
That one could tame animals.
I bet they could, but he's not very. He's a very mean person. What? Do you know how much it hurts to have your leg hurt? He threw a knife in that person's leg, and now that person has to have whole leg. You could have done it on the arm or on the face or so many places, but the leg is very rude.
And I assumed that Liliana would be more about like a positive reinforcement training.
There you have truth to that. There's truth to that.
Alrighty, so last of the first round of bouts. Last two contestants.
Yes.
First one that comes out, it's a dwarf.
Oh, yes, here we go. This will be a clean sweep.
He comes out with a round shield. He's got an axe in the other hand.
Oh, yes.
And he's wearing pretty typical dwarf armor. So he, looks like a little tank.
I like this man.
Turn, comes stomping out.
Look at him walk on both of his legs. He's very strong.
Out of the other entrance comes an ogre.
Ooh.
Not Mafuta.
Okay.
Ogre looks a little bit different. You can see they're wearing that typical gut plate, big circular piece of armor over their huge gut, but this one's also wearing an apron over that.
Oh, no. Gerty's confused now.
They have a bunch of knives stuck in their skin on their arms. You can even tell from in the stands, it's got teeth in all the wrong places in its mouth. Looks like a mess. In one hand, they hold a big meat cleaver, and their apron is covered in blood. You may have heard of this before as an ogre butcher.
This is very tough. This is my people versus my profession.
So you guys are you gonna take bets again?
Gerty, I'm a little worried.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's kind of big. It's like kicking a ball.
Yeah.
A metal ball, but a ball.
I think Ogre is very smart, too. He has blood all over him already. They won't be able to tell if it's his or, like ketchup. So
What's ketchup?
it's, I don't know. It's like a soup, but really thick. It's
And
like
blood
dehydrated soup.
Like a
Blood
stew?
colored.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not like a stew. Well, yes, kind of like a stew. But,
Like a gravy?
yeah, like a thick gravy.
Although, even if the dwarf is a metal ball, there's no blood if you hit metal.
You cannot
That
get
is
blood from
true.
stone, right?
That is
Dwarves
true.
are
He's
stone.
heavily armored. He does have that on his side. Although dwarfs, they're not very agile, but
I don't think that big dude's any more agile than the
that's
tiny
the thing.
dude.
That I feel like ducking and dodging will not be advantageous to either.
I'm going to look around, and if the dwarves aren't looking, I'm going to be like, I think it's going to be Ogre.
Okay, wait. What happens if the ogre hits the dwarf and the dwarf's helmet causes blood on himself? that's like hurting himself. Does that count?
Yes,
blood
so that
is
means
blood,
dwarf
though.
drew the first blood.
On
It just
self,
happened
so
to be
he
from
wins.
himself. Yeah, so he wins. Really, there's no way for Gerty to lose from this one. I like them both.
So which one are you putting your bet on?
Me?
Yeah.
The ogre.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Never mind.
The ogre, yeah.
Yes, it's going to be ogre very quickly.
And Liliana just kind of goes, whoever wins that might have to fight Heinrik. I don't know. I don't like either of them.
I don't want Heinrik will not be able to take dwarf, so I
Okay,
kind of
so
want
we vote ogre.
ogre.
We vote ogre.
So
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
we want the ogre to win.
All right. So these two, they don't run at each other like the last combatants did. They just kind of slowly stalk towards each other. The dwarf stays in, like, if there were other dwarves, Gerty would recognize this as phalanx formation, where he's just marching forward slowly with his shield up in front of him, his axe raised high behind it, ready to just strike over the shield. And they just slowly walk towards each other. The crowd is getting more and more like amped up as they get closer.
Yes.
You can tell, especially the ogre was kind of a crowd favorite. I mean, being an ogre has a huge advantage in these fights. You know, this thing is probably 8, 9, 10 feet tall. Their ogres are big.
Step on something.
Yeah, he'll be
Right.
able to reach right ogre his shield and get him.
Get it? But you're welcome.
So they get up to each other, and they just kind of size each other up for a moment, and they start circling a little bit. Neither of them wants to get too close, and the ogre does go first, and he does try to go over the shield at the head of the dwarf, but the dwarf gets its shield up in time, blocks it, and it says clang, and the dwarf strikes out with its axe pretty fast for a dwarf, but the ogre is able to block it with its cleaver, which is kind of like a big axe. They seem weirdly evenly matched. And there's a lot of this back and forth for a good 20 seconds or so, which in this kind of combat is actually a pretty long time. And they're just back and forth, a lot of clanging of it. The dwarf strikes the gut plate once or twice, rips that apron a bit, and the ogre doesn't like that. The ogre rips one of the knives out of its arm and throws it at the dwarf to no effect. Clangs off some of its
Does that
armor.
count as first blood? He
It's
made
in like
himself bleed.
no, it's like a piercing, so it wouldn't bleed afterwards.
Weird.
Oh, that's super
God.
cool.
And then the ogre does get a lucky shot past the shield, hits the dwarf in the head, and the dwarf like staggers to the side for a moment, clearly dazed. Because the ogre has strike to stun, managed to get through with that, and then it punches the dwarf square in the face where there's no armor, and he falls backwards for half. He literally just gets knocked to the ground, and he gets up and coughs blood on the ground, and the crowd goes crazy.
And
The
that
ogre holds his arms up, and he's like, "Roar!"
Whoa.
counts.
That was intense.
He didn't draw blood as much as make blood come outside from the inside.
It's kind of what I said before. He just created his own
Yes.
blood, and I don't know.
The dwarf kicks at the dirt over his blood and grumbles and stomps back without looking at the ogre again.
He should have worn faceplate
Or he'd have a dented faceplate in his own face. I don't know if that would have been better.
and make
Or
his
he
face
should have
stronger.
Coughed.
Or
It's
put
like
a dent in his
a
face.
deviated helmet septum.
Yes, he should have swallowed the cough.
As he's walking away, you can see his nose is bleeding freely, clearly broken.
Well, it's just the three lens, yes.
I bet they'll have to set that bone.
Mofuta's talking the crowd up again, getting really excited. And you get the sense that there's a little bit of kind of like an intermission before the would it be the semifinal rounds? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So some of the crowd start to like leave their seats for a moment. You're not sure exactly how long. There were some dwarves nearby. Do you want to try to talk to them in khazalid?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Does that work? Hey, friends.
So you speak in the dwarf language, and they kind of look up and they're like, "Oh, wow, another dwarf."
Yes, my name is Gerty. I'm from the Grey Mountains. I do really cool stuff. How are you?
Oh, you've traveled far. Yeah, we're from Carrick Ingle.
Oh,
Right, yes,
where is this?
to the north of here.
Oh, like
Not as far north as the Grey Mountains, but
Like
Like-
those mountains, the ones that we can probably see from where we are.
maybe if you were sitting high up, maybe you could a little bit. Yeah,
But it's
the
the ones
mountains
we
in this
have
region.
seen.
Yes.
Yes.
So like day two, like how far from here?
Oh, a few miles.
Well, that's it. There's like a whole bunch of dwarves. Like, sorry, excuse me, right over there-ish.
They tell you about 10 miles to the northeast.
Oh wow, this is great news. Okay. What are your names?
They introduced themselves as Berta and Barden.
Berta and Barden. Okay, this is very good. What do people milk here?
They're like, excuse me?
Like for milk?
I don't understand the question. Milk's for babes.
Yes. You don't always milk dwarfs for milk. Sometimes you get milk from other places. You make a milk stout. Yes?
No.
You don't have milk stouts here?
Liliana's going to pat Gerty on the shoulder and be like, we can educate them once we get our own.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Make our own stout and then we like teach them.
They have no idea what they're missing out on. Do you have oatmeal stouts? Do you have no stouts at all? What is your stout situation?
Well, we could talk about that another time. What do you think of that first round? What was that? Piddly Manling. I can't believe he won that first
That
round.
Piddly Manling won, and his name is
Blood Flicker.
Flicker.
Blood Flicker.
The unflicker.
He was the skinniest person I've ever seen enter this competition. I can't believe he made it past the first fight.
He is very promising contender.
Yeah, the way he confused that orc was pretty funny.
It's not difficult to confuse Orc, but he did it in a way that was
That's
very
true.
fun to watch.
Stupid greenskins. But yeah, I mean, it was too bad to see Kurgan lose to shoot, I moved away from the names there. It's too bad to see Kurgan lose to Garagun.
It seems like setup. Yes, there's no.
Oh, careful how loud you say that. Mofuto got real upset if somebody accuses his game
fair.
of being
I guess evenly matched, probably. If you put that dwarf up against anyone else that was here, they could do nothing to him. The only person that could have beaten him potentially may have been Ogre.
Right, yeah. Kurgan's won before, but was rough.
But very good. Very nice to meet you.
Yes. We'll be back for the semis.
Hot.
So Heinrik, as you're getting pampered, you can understand these languages. People are talking to you. You do find out that your next opponent is the Skaven.
That's weird because Skaven don't exist. So
They tell you that your next opponent's name is Stab Stab.
Blood Flicker versus Stab Stab. Yes.
I was gonna spit take from that.
That's a
They're
good,
the
that's a good name.
headliners.
Yes.
Blood Flicker versus Stab Stab.
this sounds like some sort of weak beastman. I should have no problem.
All right. So then those of you in this, you can find, if you talk with, Berta and Barden a little bit, you find out that the first two bouts are like the first side of the bracket. The second two bouts are the other side of the bracket. So it'll be Stab Stab versus Heinrik. And the other two will be, what's he called? Jekyll, One-Eyed Jekyll
The Whip Man.
Jekyll
will be
is
up
Jekyll.
against Garagun, the
Jekyll?
Insatiable.
It's a Jekyll.
Jekyll.
It's a Jekyll.
It's a one-eyed Jekyll. You
And
can't net one of those down, you know?
So you
can
find
hide
out
from it though.
that you've got about 10 minutes or so before the semifinals start. If there's anything you want to do, or you can just wait.
Snacks.
Yeah, we should probably get
Round
snack.
2 needs snacks.
Yes, it does. What are people in the crowds eating? Is there like
Is there
a
a
thing that
line?
like everyone has? Like everyone has popcorn or something?
Yes, you can find people. There's stands that sell food, of course, and drinks, and you can find what would be like fried banana chips
Oh, yes.
Hell yeah.
are
Definitely.
popular.
I'm thinking like fried crickets. You got any of those hiding around?
Oh, yes. That
You
would be
definitely can
very
find
good.
like cooked up crickets,
Fried and
things.
crunchy.
big
Liliana's like,
grasshoppers.
I need something fried and crunchy. I need a really big drink, which really just means normal sized, but she's small.
There's also a goblin wearing a tall hood in black, wearing black robes, who has like a stand with a bunch of different mushrooms. And he has like a squig on a spit that he's like taking slices from.
What is a squig?
Squigs are one of my favorite
The
things ever.
best.
They're short. The name squig is short for squiggly beast. And they're little fungus monsters. Well, they're not that little. That goblins often farm and tame. They ride into battle. But they are essentially a fungus creature, so they're used to farm to eat as well.
They bounce and explode. Don't they explode?
They're common
usually.
back home though.
They're squigs, yeah.
Okay.
You may have heard of them. They're not common, like, you wouldn't find them in the sewers, but like among goblins.
Mm.
Yes.
Liliana looks at it and goes, I don't know what it is. I'm
Yes.
eating it.
Yes, we need to try
Or
this.
I want some of that.
But you can get like a squig kebab.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. 2 squid kebabs. I have 2 hands, and Vicious needs a snack too.
We should also probably find, like, bouquet. So when Heinrik wins, we can throw roses to him. Yes?
That's a lovely idea.
I think that he would really appreciate that, too.
Make a gossip test to see if you can find that in time.
Oh, how about the 50? Is that a success? I don't know. Where's gossip on the character? Oh, it is! Yes! That's a 0 success level.
50s is, wow.
I have a
forgot how
55
Gerty-
gossip, yes.
Gerty's
very
so good at these things. So you like, as you can hear, like, you see people filing back to the stands, and you get the sense that it's just about time to get back there to see the next round. And you find a place that's selling flowers, so you can grab that.
Oh, great. What colors do they have? Describe them all to me, please.
They have a lot of it, mostly blues and purples.
Tulips or roses?
Does Gerty know about flowers? Living in like a dwarven mine?
I have many books of flower books that I read.
Yeah, you can find things that are basically like tulips.
I don't want a tulip. I just asking if they have. I want
No,
the
that's
blue
mostly
rose.
what they
You
have.
said
They have,
blue flowers?
actually, if you want to pay a little bit more, just a little bit more, like a silver equivalent per flower, you can get some orchids.
What color?
They're like white and purple.
Oh, purple nobility. He would like this.
Very delicate. Don't know if you should throw them.
Oh.
You know what he would like? Soap.
He does enjoy being clean.
Oh, yes. I'll take the orchid. And
Okay.
do you have any soap, please?
They don't understand what you're
This is
saying.
a stupid store. Oh, yes, we should have gotten soap.
Maybe I can
Didn't
just
you-
Different game.
Yep.
I looked at my character sheet and was like, wait, no, I have like, I got a whole bunch of different
It
soap.
was Mud that bought a bunch of soap, wasn't it? Wasn't it Lost Omens you bought?
No.
a bunch
No,
of
I
soap?
bought it from the apothecary in Kemperbad.
Yeah.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Do we have to charge ourselves money for the foods we bought?
No, I think this is free.
No, you gotta, yeah, it'll cost some money.
Oh.
If you want to buy a bunch of kebab, the flour was a silver. Food you could spend anywhere from 2 to like 8 pennies. We'll say each kebab is 2 pennies.
Where is my money in here?
And the fried crickets.
It'll be another penny. They'd be cheap.
Do you
They
think
don't-
that they could make like a croquette out of crickets?
Yeah, I don't have any money.
Yeah, apparently I have no money on my
Oh,
card.
we haven't kept. Oh,
We haven't had to buy anything.
that's true.
Well,
Oh, that's true. This is the first time we cared about buying stuff.
I mean, I bought the goat, but whatever. Okay.
For right now, we'll just say if as long as your social status can afford it, it'll be fine.
How many
What kind of,
pennies are in the silver again? Is it 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of food am I being served?
You got like grapes and pieces of pineapple and banana, some meats that you could ask what they are, but they wouldn't know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's squig.
Any cheeses?
Some a little bit of hard cheese, yeah.
Okay. Heinrich is, before this next fight, going to pocket some of it.
The cheese.
Yes.
That's incredible.
All right. So you guys head back to the stands.
You mean he's our friend?
He's got cheese in his pocket. That's a hot pocket.
You know what's gonna be really funny? If he eats this cheese in front of us, doesn't give us any of the cheese.
Mm.
So we head back to the stands to watch the semifinals.
Yes.
All right. So Heinrich, you are ushered to the door, the entrance here on your side of the arena.
Excellent.
Like, Liliana is definitely gonna try and weasel her way closer than she was before
Sure.
to like the action, and she's gonna stand on her chair, not sit in it.
Fair.
Oh, yes. If Heinrich is like when we'll try to get up as close as we can when Heinrich goes.
Yeah, you can kind of shove your way up.
Yeah.
There's like a little bit of standing room right at like the wall of the arena.
Mm.
So you can get your way up to that, and that Liliana can like sit on the wall.
Yes.
I lean on my goat.
I forgot you
yeah,
have a
we had to
goat
bring
with
the
you.
goat.
Yes.
Also, Liliana is on the wall for sure, but definitely nervous. It's a wall, and they're evil.
In this case, it's
Yeah.
only like 4 feet, so like Bethen can like pick you up and put you on top if you want.
No, if she falls off, she literally will probably explode.
It is just over a yard, so.
Yeah.
So Heinrik walks out. The crowd gets really excited. And then your opponent wearing that black cloak comes out, and you hear a lot of like, boo! You can tell he's kind of like the heel, sort of.
Yes.
People don't like him as much. And he comes out, and Mafuta's introducing everybody. You hear Heinrik as he's talking, and whatnot. And you hear something that sounds kind of like stab, stab on the other side.
How unoriginal.
Right?
Thanks.
Stab, stab.
Yes.
I mean, it's a great
Versus
Skaven name.
blood flicker. I mean, Liliana's just gonna shout, "Add him to my stick! Add him to my stick!"
First blood, Liliana.
She's just gonna start chomping it up and down. Like, if there's any
Alright.
stamping, stomping, or clapping, she's totally with her staff at the same time.
I love
What
this.
did you get to drink, Lily?
It belongs on my staff. If I was down there, it would just go right on it.
Maybe you can join Arena too, you know? Hit
don't wanna-
people
I
with
don't
rocks
like-
from far away and then shoot them with dog.
Shoot them with dogs?
Yes, you say, dog, get them. And then the dog shoots off. And
Or I
gets them.
could just use my sling.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Is that cheating? They'd be mad at that.
I think it's very difficult, yes, to make people bleed with sling. How would you make someone bleed with
Yeah,
you?
throws a little rock there.
It's a rock, Gert.
Yes. Like,
All right, when we get back to the house, we're gonna do an experiment. You're gonna stand there, and I'm gonna throw a rock at you, and then you'll tell me if it hurts.
oh, it will probably hurt, but it will not make Gerty bleed.
Head wounds are notoriously like.
I know.
excessive
Didn't you see the
bleeders.
dwarf's face before?
Well, yes, but
Anything to your scalp, the skin on your scalp is so thin, any kind of abrasion there.
but I wear a helmet on my head.
Yes, because you're smart.
And no offense, Lily, but the rocks that you put in your sling aren't like ogre fist.
No, but how big is your eye?
Smaller than ogre fist.
Does the helmet cover your eye?
It could if I turn it sideways. Look,
But now
Really,
you
I'm
can't
just gonna-
see anything.
now I
Just gonna-
can't see, and my only vulnerable area, my meal ticket, is covered completely.
Mm.
And Liliana's just gonna hand palm slap it like, well, bam.
What was this? Flip
Funny.
that back around. Oh, there are very big birds here.
Hijinks done.
All right.
Complete.
Heinrich, you enter the arena here. This black-clad figure who you're told was named Stab Stab comes walking out as well. They're hunched over, quite a bit shorter than you, like that. And they
Mhm.
stop about 20 yards away. And they just
So-
kind of stand there and look at you.
Specifically not in charge range.
They purposely, it seems like they purposely stayed a bit back.
So Heinrich is going to just walk a little bit forward to close the range, reach into his pocket, and then toss all of the cheese that I collected in front of the Skaven. And then I'd like to make a leadership test to try and lead the audience in a chant of "Big Mouse Eats Cheese." Big Mouse Eats Cheese. And then he just claps. And
Liliana takes this up instantaneously.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
same with Gerty. Big mouse eats cheese. Big mouse eats cheese.
People that aren't listening to this show are missing out. Because Heinrich's the best character. Oh my god. What?
That's your outtake right there.
Oh yes.
What? Big Mouse eats cheese.
That is
Oh,
also your episode title.
Yeah.
I gotta write that down.
Oh my god.
How'd you do with your leadership check?
I hadn't rolled until just now. I did roll a 3, which is 5 success levels.
Oh yes, we got new party member.
So people start, they don't know what you're saying, but they're chanting along with you.
Does the Skaven even know what he's saying?
This Skaven is like incensed.
Watch this term become like underground slang. Like people are saying it, they don't know what it means, but they assume it's something cool. It'd be like, oh, Big Mouse eats cheese. Oh yes,
it's a new catchphrase.
yes.
Just a quick question. Does my advantage from that doesn't carry forward because this is a separate encounter, right?
Right. Yeah, it's been like half an hour or more since your last
Okay, yeah.
fight.
But that leadership was certainly opposed. Yes.
I assume the Skaven has to make some kind of cool check from my blatant taunting.
Well, your leadership check was to work up the crowd, so I was assuming that was for that, not a combat roll.
I assume that Skaven think that throwing cheese at their feet is racist.
Oh, he's mad. He kicks the sand at it, and he's really upset with you right now.
Gerty will yell from the stand, "You're getting the cheese dirty!"
I know!
Where is my...
This is why we don't like Skavens. It was perfectly good cheese.
We can still cut off the bad parts.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't squish it or bleed on it, I guess.
So from there, the Skaven kicks at the cheese on the ground, and it darts at you, and then throws something at you. And as you see it hurtling through the air, it looks like a little green ball. You pissed it off.
Well, this is not going to make me bleed.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
And Heinrik has no idea what it is.
Yeah, Alex, I'm sure, knows exactly what it is. It's very shiny. It looks like it might even be glass. But as it swirls through the sky, you guys are close enough to it. You can see it looks like it has this swirling gas on the inside.
Oh, hey, what's that?
Oh, it's probably candy.
So real quick, I'm going to roll his ranged attack here to make sure he doesn't mess it up. Shit.
I hope. Oh,
this is a great day.
Oh, no. Okay,
Uh-oh.
so let's see. We have... I have to do a different book for that. So those listening have probably guessed it's actually not a poison wind globe.
Is it a stink bomb? Because that'd be really effing funny.
He has something called a death globe.
Oh, yeah, that sounds okay. That sounds okay to use here.
And he wasn't going to use it because this is not a fight to the death. It's a fight to first blood. He could get in some trouble for using this. But Heinrik just offended him so greatly that he figured it was worth it to just kill this person. Let's see. So this works the same as a poison wind globe, except the cloud is twice as big. Targets must pass a hard toughness test to resist the effects.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
So bad. Let me find so I got a poison wind globe. Okay. So let me double check how this works exactly. I wasn't anticipating using this. He was just gonna stab you. So let's see.
Heinrik.
When the globe shatters, it releases a cloud of poisonous gas, in this case 6 yards in diameter and 6 yards high. I missed my range throw attack by 5. So 0 negative success levels. Sorry, 1 negative success level. I don't feel like that would be more than 6 yards from you. Oh, so there's a chart for if I fail to hit the target. All right. Then we'll double check that. Globe falls D10 yards short of the target and may cause it to land behind the thrower, indicating a particularly poor attempt. All right. So, oh no. I rolled 10. It's so mad. It falls D10 yards short. And I rolled 10 yards short of the target.
Did this Skaven just kill itself because I threw cheese at it?
So you said how far did Heinrik move up? We didn't set exactly how far apart we were.
My goal was really just to get inside charging range because I figured that like if I got him incensed that it might delay things and then I could do a charge attack on turn 2 again.
Oh my god. So you moved to within 8 yards.
Yeah, because I did say I just walked forward a little bit.
Yeah, because I said I went forward a little bit too. So we'll say he went up 1. We'll say he went up 2 yards. So you're 6 yards apart. And I rolled 10. So it lands 4 yards behind him.
The wind took it.
Which is so stupid. He goes to throw it, and he's just so mad. His hands are shaking. He's so upset at this, how you were so racist, essentially. He's so upset about this. He goes to throw it, and it slips out of his clawed hand behind him and breaks on the ground. It bursts out a 6-yard diameter cloud that only catches him. So it's 4 yards away from you, this cloud, and this is so ridiculous. I have to pass a very hard toughness test now because I rolled a 70 when his throwing was 65. He should not have missed. All right. He does pass the toughness test with 2 degrees of success. So that's something.
So he only suffers from acute death or something?
Right. Let's see. It's identical, except the cloud is twice as big. So it does a poison wind globe, plus you would lose D10 wounds, modified by toughness if you failed a hard toughness test. He passes that. So now he has to take another toughness test or suffer a 4 damage hit that ignores armor and toughness. Okay, so we'll do that again. He fails that one. So plus 4 damage to what? He had 1 negative success level, so he takes 3 damage? I don't really get that. Doesn't make sense to me. So it just says I suffer a plus 4 damage hit that ignores armor and toughness. But what's the plus 4 to?
The
It
success
could be plus
levels.
4 to the success level.
Yeah, I guess, but he had negative success levels, so he takes 3 damage. Well, it says it ignores armor and toughness. So he's choking to death in his own cloud.
Is the cloud blowing away, by the way, or is it just like hanging out?
No, it's hanging out. It's pretty thick gas. But that does take us to Heinrik's turn.
So Heinrich can't get in this gas without breathing the gas.
Yeah, it's this thick, cloying green gas that's swirling around, and the crowd is like stunned to silence right now. They have no idea what's going on. You can hear the Skaven in there. It's so ridiculous.
Well, I mean, like, Heinrich does have a dagger. I guess I'm just going to throw it in there and see what happens. I'm drunk also, so...
Well, you're not, like, drunk yet, but you are,
My feeble ballistic skill is even worse than it might otherwise be.
All right.
So, yeah, I mean, like, Heinrich's going to look out to the crowd, shrug, and then throw a dagger into the cloud. I did fail that, but I will just note that I failed it by 1, and it's only because of the consume alcohol.
Oh no! Yeah. So this cloud is it's not like a smoke bomb. It doesn't block line of sight completely. You can see and like the shadow of the Skaven in there. But you throw that and you don't.
I mean, you could always use a fortune point to make sure it connects, but it's plus 1 success levels.
I do have to beat a 22 in order to
not to re-roll, to add a success level.
Oh.
Or you could spend a resolve to ignore the drunken condition, and then it would have hit 2, yes?
Absolutely not going to spend a resolve, but you know what? I will spend a fortune point. Like, how often am I going to get this golden of an opportunity to throw a dagger at a rat that's choking to death in front of a crowd?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to get that 1 success level.
All right. So what's the total damage there?
I don't actually have dagger written down for throwing because I never anticipated using it.
Right. If you count it as a throwing knife, it's strength bonus plus 2.
Oh,
plus success
okay.
levels.
So that will be 6 damage.
Damn it.
Is that just enough? He just, only 1 little point goes through?
Wait.
Or it kills him.
No, it doesn't kill him.
Oh, I don't know how rats are made.
No, he took a little bit of damage from the thing, but...
I was going to say, it hits in the left arm if that affects anything.
Let me see. So he's got no. Okay, you did 6. That is the minimum 1, so it's not enough to win the round. It doesn't actually draw blood. It just kind of sticks into him a little bit, but it's not like actively bleeding. I think you still have a move if you wanted, because you did your action to throw the knife.
Yeah, I'm going to back away from this gas. I do want to stay within charging range, but I do want to put some... It smells horrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. You could tell that it's really not good. All right. Then on the Skaven's turn, you see him basically just leap out of the gas at you, and he stabs at you with his punch dagger claws.
Okay, I'm going to oppose this with melee fencing.
And you have 1 or 2 advantage now, Heinrik.
I should have 2 now, right? Because I hyped up the crowd in combat. Or is only the dagger counting for
just
advantage?
The dagger? Yeah, the leadership wasn't against the
okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, so I mean, I have 2 success levels, which is not stellar.
All right, I got a little lucky here. I have what's his melee basic? I have 5 success levels, and I rolled an 11.
Well, this is not good.
A critical
Well,
hit.
Funny thing is, I can use a fortune point here to beat that, correct?
You still take the critical, but you could still win the opposed roll.
Am I gonna I could bleed from the critical though without the
Yes. Yeah, because criticals do auto damage. So as long as it's more than 1, I think he's got you.
Well, I mean, I can negate the critical by letting my armor take damage.
Yes, because do you have armor on your head? No. 11 is the left arm.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I'm definitely using my second fortune point in this tournament.
Mhm.
I'm not going to let this happen again like it did with in Gapapa.
Well, before you roll those dice.
All right. Well, then it doesn't count, right?
All right, I know you rolled the dice. No. We're gonna find out what that roll was next time. See if Heinrik can defeat this Skaven.
We gotta wait a little bit, because every time I press the button, it starts over, and I hit the Kapapa button instead of the Settling the Southlands button, so we gotta let it play all the way through, and now I can hit the Settling the Southlands button. Here it goes.